and welcome to Stu Does Linux, the show dedicated to open source in the K-12 classroom. A show by a teacher for teachers. Take a moment and click like, subscribe, and that notification bell thing. My name is Stu Karoff. Over the last 11 years, I've spent a lot of time creating ways of integrating Linux into my classroom. These days, I'm a technology teacher and integrationist, but my background is in teaching social studies, so I haven't always done tech. About the time I became a classroom teacher, I started a hobby that ended up transforming my work and my life: Linux. I was fascinated by the prospect of computing free of what the software lords of Redmond and Cupertino would have for me. While I was having fun learning new things about computing and getting more life out of old computers, something Linux is well known for, it wasn't long before I saw that it would be useful to have Linux computers in my classroom at school. I started reusing some cast-off computers that other people gave me, put Linux on them, and had kids use them for things like Study Island and Google Docs. Then I got a hardware donation of computers that became my first Linux mini lab. The kids had fun using them, so we started a Linux club. Then I moved to another school and started another Linux club. Both clubs, the Community School of Excellence Asian Penguins and the Aspen Academy Penguin Corps, started recycling computers for kids to use at home. That's right, kids helping to close the digital divide. And at little or no cost to the schools in question, too. Which brings us to today. After answering people's questions in person, I decided to start this channel to put videos out there so I could teach other teachers how to do what my students and I have been doing. Okay, Q&A time. Let me answer a few questions that have come up over the last few years, along with a few questions I thought of on my own. This show is for people who work in schools: teachers, administrators, tech coordinators. This is not a show aimed at sysadmins or coders, although I'd like them to watch too so they can give me some constructive criticism. But don't look for heavy code crunching or how to configure servers. This is about how and why to use Linux with your students. Open source. Open source software is software that is released under a free and open source license, and that the source code of the program is freely available for anyone who wants to see it. Software freedom is generally defined around 4 points. First, an open source program is free to use for any purpose. Second, the user is free to study how the program works, including looking at the source code that proprietary software keeps locked and hidden. Third is the freedom to change or improve the software. Last is the freedom to share the software, including any changes you made to it. If you're tuning in here, you may already have an idea, but just in case, Linux is a computer operating system built with open source software. Unlike Microsoft's Windows or Apple's Mac OS, Linux can be gotten for free, freely studied, and improved by users. In fact, Linux is the largest collaborative software project in human history, with thousands of programmers all over the world contributing code to it. In short, it's the software that actually runs your computer and helps all the other programs work. Several reasons. First, it's free. You don't have to pay for the OS or most of the apps. Second, it can help you get more life out of older computers. There are lots of computers out there that could run Windows 7 or Windows 10, but can't run Windows 11. These computers can still be used running Linux. That also helps to cut down on e-waste, as you can still use those computers rather than throwing them away. Another powerful reason is that the things you learn about getting these computers up and running, you can turn around and teach to your students, raising them up to be a tech team for today and tech leaders for tomorrow. I've seen it happen, and it's amazing. Oh, and if you and your students really screw up a computer and it doesn't work anymore, just grab the flash drive and start over. No licenses, no license keys, no software charges. Just freedom. I plan to cover the basics of getting computers up and running for your classroom, involving your students in the process, getting computers for your classroom, suggestions on using Linux to meet learning goals you already have in place, and whatever else I can think of. Oh, and like a cover band in a bar, I'm known to play requests. Let me know what topics would be most helpful to you. Well, I'm licensed in elementary ed, middle school social studies, and tech. For most of the last decade, it's been split pretty evenly between social studies and tech. So I understand wanting to know the practicality of any tech you're likely to drag into a classroom. Eventually, yes, but let's get it going first. I'll start with one new video per month and try to get up to one every 2 weeks. If demand is there, I'll increase it from there. What are your thoughts? What would you like to see in future videos? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, click like, and go ahead and click subscribe and that notification bell while you're at it. Well, that's it for now. Be looking for the next video, and remember, if Stu does Linux, so can you. So long.